the company and how you started.
Yeah. So Spreadshirt is a company. What we do, we allow other people, so we allow the community basically to create their own merchandising stores. So everybody can create a T-shirt and go online and within a few minutes create his own T-shirt store. Okay, and it comes to everybody without any costs, and it's very simple. So what happened is that we have right now like 200,000 of such online stores, with people selling content or like selling T-shirts with artworks about everything that you can imagine. So, for example, we have people selling T-shirts with hamsters on it, okay, like with the small furry animals, like a hamster fan community, and or like comedians or small companies, but also like bigger companies use our service, yeah, for promotional reasons and stuff like that.
But when did you start? When did you set the company up?
So it's started 2002. So this was like kind of like after the meltdown of the dot-coms, after the meltdown of the internet community. And back then it was also like, yeah, very hard to impossible. So I was a student back then, like to finance a company. So it's a completely bootstrapped company. So without any financing or anything, we went to this like 200,000 stores and employ now more than 200 people worldwide. So we are also like active in the Netherlands, for example. We have an office in the US with 40 people, and yeah.
So in many ways, you're saying is that without any marketing budget whatsoever,
correct,
you've gone and built a company where you've enabled even either individuals, small companies, or larger firms.
Yeah. So we did not create the company. The consumers created kind of the company because of. We just provided them with a platform. Okay, here's a simple web-based software where everybody can upload an image, put an image on a T-shirt, or like a bag or a mug or a mouse pad or anything. But most of it is apparel, and then the people will provide the content, and the people also, they have a website, My Hamster Community, for example. So they also provide the traffic. Okay, so we do nothing. So not that we do nothing, but like. So we outsource a lot of the value chain to our consumer. He provides the traffic, he provides the content, and also he provides us new customers because of for two reasons. One reason was that everybody was delighted of this service. Wow, I can have my own T-shirts on my website. It's very simple. It comes without any costs. I even can earn money with it because if we enable the people to put a commission on their shirts and they can earn money. So this created word of mouth. Like people like who have websites, they told each other about the service. This was one thing, and another thing is that in every store there is like a small button saying like powered by Spreadshirt. So this also gives for a viral effect. So yeah, the community created Spreadshirt. They created the content. They brought us the traffic that allowed us like to have the sales, and also they did the marketing for us about the service.
And you sent me, when we spoke on the phone, you sent me something very interesting about your you run a kind of constant logo competition, or you're judging people that are their designs. So the community is working on this as well, aren't they?
So we have a few more business models about communities, for example, like an ongoing design competition. That was what you talked about. It's called La Fraise, and once a week designers can win the prize. And of 500 euro, and the winning design will be produced in a limited edition. So again, like community creating content and also community creating customers to involvement. And the thing you refer to is the Open Logo project, and this tells a little bit about the mindset of Spreadshirt, of our company, that we really involve the customer, and we really, yeah, our customers, our users, our community is a co-creator of the company. So when we've been looking for a new logo, okay, because of like we launched 2002 with little budgets, so it was not done very professional. Let me put it this way. So we looked for a new logo. So we didn't went to an advertising agency and say like, okay, here's the money, create us a logo, make a pitch, and all of this. But we put up a weblog, a website, where we asked our community to make suggestions for a logo and to vote these suggestions. And out of this process evolved the new Spreadshirt logo. So now we have a logo that's as nice as it probably would be when an ad agency would have created it. We have a story to tell, right? And we engaged our community, we engaged our users. So the users who took part in this process haven't been that many. It have been like I think like 1,000 users who submitted something, so 1,000 graphic artists. Yeah, they feel pretty connected. They feel close to the company because of they co-created something with it.
And have you been quite surprised about the kind of the rapid growth, the community involvement? I mean, is this something that you when you started you had a theory about, or was, you know, how could you sort of explain a little bit about those things?
I mean, it's hard to tell. It was in the plan, so we planned it like it went. But if it would have like developed in another way, we also would have planned it for success. So you don't really know. But it was more or less like we envisioned this. Yes.
And what was the sort of, in terms of your experience then, sort of setting up the business the way you did, understanding that the community could actually play a very important economic role for you? Okay, you obviously realised that sort of engaging your community could really help you build a very successful business. What were the things that you were looking at when you set it up 4 years ago that were telling you that that was the way that you wanted to do it?
I mean, the starting point was just really to offer a service to the people, because of like it was clear that the demand is there, that people like to have T-shirts on the website. So like the inspiration came from Amazon a little bit, because if you know this Amazon affiliate program where everybody can have his, like on his web page, for example, I think the Amazon example is with weddings, okay? So somebody has a web page about weddings, he can put up like a book up there, which is about weddings, and sell this book via Amazon, via his website. And this was a little bit of an inspiration, because of, okay, if everybody can sell a book via his website with the topic of his website, why we can't do this with T-shirts as well? And it was clear that the people will like it, because of the people, I mean, they have like, they get a lot of value through this solution. They can earn money, and some people don't do it like for the sake of earning money, they just do it like to engage their community as well, or to provide identification to their community, like a T-shirt with the, let's say, with the logo of a certain website, a certain community or something. Mm-hmm. So like it was really value driven, bring value to the customer, and yeah, so that what worked.
And where do you think Spreadshirt goes over the next 5 years? What do you see as sort of opportunities based on your experiences?
I mean, like just to dip even deeper into the Web 2.0 world. So, for example, when you see, I mean, what we do basically is like mass customization. We provide like mass customized apparel to the people. So you can go on our website and order a single T-shirt with your design. Could be like as a present or whatever. And so far, I mentioned that we have this 200,000 shop partners. Those are people with websites, or like organizations with websites, organizations that are a little bit more tech savvy. But we can bring this service to a wider internet community, to a wider range of users. For example, all the social net users. I'm not sure like what the numbers are here in the Netherlands. For example, you have this Hive community, right? So like all of them could like include maybe a T-shirt, their favorite T-shirt that they designed themselves into their profiles. So this would be one route to go, like to enable like really a lot of more users to use the service. And another route is like to involve the traditional companies into the business model. So when we have 200,000 shops, we have 200,000 small salespeople with special interests, be it hamsters, be it some celebrity, be it whatever. And this is also an opportunity for media companies, for entertainment companies, because of it could be like a sales channel. So we can offer like them to push the content to our shops. So it's like a big sales channel, for a very distributed sales channel. So like, for example, I don't know, like Walt Disney or whoever could have like his T-shirts within the social networks, on a lot of small fan websites and stuff like that.
And what do you think in terms of traditional companies and retail and sort of marketing communications going forward? I mean, what are your thoughts on?
So one thing is, I think that the consumer doesn't like to be bullshitted. And he will be bullshitted a lot of times with advertising, with traditional advertising. I mean, sometimes it's advertising funny or whatever, but a lot of times it's it's doing over-promising, and it over-promises and whatever. So there's, I think there's demand for a larger amount of honesty with the consumer in communication, like honest, open communication. We're all people, even big companies are consisting of people. They have problems, things go wrong. So like an open communication about this and an engagement of the customer. This is one. And another one is that I think that like companies whose business model depends on the mainstream will have a problem because of the mainstream loses in significance. So like all this, I mean the internet, like in the first bubble, like 99, it was said, okay, the internet will bring transactional efficiency to the world. The best price is one click away, and this is how the internet creates value. But it turned out that this is partly true, yes, but the bigger part of how the internet creates value is in this long tail model. So like that it can cater niches and like small communities, and demand gets more fragmented. So the power shifts from the mainstream to the long tail. And a lot of companies who depend on the mainstream will have will see like some of the revenues go away. This doesn't mean that the mainstream will disappear, but the mainstream will get smaller.
Yeah. So it's a world of mass niche markets as opposed to mass markets.
Yeah.
You do it. That always helped. Did you see the old name? We'll go to questions from the audience now, because it's otherwise we're already late, so we'll have to.
Sure.
People need lunch too. Any questions from the audience? The gentleman in the front over here. Als een van onze bevallige nimfen. Debbie, hier 6e rij van voor. Deze meneer. En een iets hoger tempo, Deb, anders dan duurt het te lang. Precies. Ga je gang.
Hi, my name is Prashant Shah, and I work for VNE Business Publications, the company which organized this event. I have a question about marketing your website. You probably kicked off your website from a very small garage, probably, apartment, but you couldn't escape marketing. Maybe the people, your community, started marketing by word of mouth. But how did you get it kicked off from basically 0 visitors to whatever, 1 million or
200,000 people that have a store or something, right?
200,000 people, yeah. So
and
I think the question is clear. That's one. Okay, let's stick to this one question first.
Yeah, no, it's part of the same question.
Okay, then quick, hurry.
When did you see it suddenly shoot up?
Yeah. So like the kick-off of such community businesses is always within your private network. So, I mean, I've used the internet a lot, so I knew a few webmasters, or I used a few websites, so I just approached these people who owned this website. Hey, don't you like to integrate a store? And I asked my friends to do the same. Hey, do you know websites who might be interested in this? And out of this personal relations, the first customers have been created.
So you must have a lot of friends, basically, to start a business that way.
Yeah, like this. For example, there's this hive here in the Netherlands. So for example, I co-founded like a social network for students in Germany, and it was the same success factor. So we engaged a lot of friends, and they created the first base of the community. And we started in February this year with like all friends, and now there are like 400,000 people within the social network. Okay. And the second part of the question, like when it takes off, I think that depends on the business model and on how big your community is, and so there is no single answer to it. So, for example, with the students network, we saw that like at each school, at each college, once 100 people signed up, it started to go viral by itself. Around 100 people, you saw like growth rates of 5% a day.
5% a day?
5% a day, yeah.
I'm really bad at math, but I think that's a really fast growth. That I do know.
3 to 5% a day, yeah, up to 5% a day. And with Spreadshirt, it took like I think 18 months since it really like had a lot of viral growth.
But it's funny because when we speak, we were hanging out yesterday, last night, and you're very calm, you're very quiet, and you come from Leipzig, in the former East Germany. I was just there for the football, and I thought he was very quiet. These people are very sedate. A lot of people leave to West Germany. You went to school in Mannheim, and then you went to Georgia Tech. I read in your bio.
Yeah.
So how do you think that has anything to do with the way you approach business? That you grew up in a completely different environment without strong influence of capitalism, I guess.
So
I don't know, how old are you now?
I'm 29.
Oh, that's really old already. Yeah.
That's really old, yeah. But I think, so I'm born in Poland and I grew up in Germany. And you see this often that like first generation immigrants are like entrepreneurs because of...
But where did you grow up in Germany? Which part?
In Kassel, in West Germany.
Also West.
Yeah. So
Okay. And then this whole ambition, because also Alan said it, you started with no money at all, but you are aggressive because you want to go global, you want to go Asia, you want to do the US. Are you intimidated? You have competitors that are funded by the same people that funded Google and funded Yahoo.
Yeah.
Cafe Press and Zaz, your competitors. Does that fear, does it instill any fear in you, or doesn't look like it? But
if it infuels me?
yeah, I mean, are you scared for your competition that has much more money right now in the banks to actually grow and do marketing, for example, traditional marketing?
Yeah. You have to do better. I mean, like, I don't know what the answer is to it. I think the answer is that when...
I think the really interesting thing is that whole notion about when it's organic and it's grassroots and it's built upwards, particularly in the way, that is something which, again, is this notion about trust and authenticity. Lucas has mentioned about people not wanting bullshit, and I think as consumers we've become very sophisticated in terms of when we know that someone is really trying to sell to us or not sell to us. I think what Lucas is creating, again, is really interesting because as the community builds it, there is a sense of, again, identity and belonging and kind of creating something where that is potentially a more stable model.
Okay. So pretend he's not here right now, so Lucas is not here. Do you think that he can beat the companies that are funded by the guys by Sequoia Capital and by Kleiner Perkins that funded his competitors?
I don't know. I mean, I think that what they might do is come along and offer Lucas an enormous sum of money at some point when they see he's got an incredible business model. In the same way that Murdoch went and bought, MySpace.com for the sale of the century at $600 million. I mean, I'm sure those guys are kicking themselves now.
So if they would come and ask you to sell, would you sell?
I think they're too small to buy us.
Or you're too big to be bought by them.
Yeah.
Any more questions from the audience? I am in the front. Always on the other side. Micah.
I have just a question for Alan. This is Mark Schipperijn from Ogilvy in the Netherlands. I'm curious what your view is about customer relationship marketing and customer profiling in this fragmented media landscape.
CRM.
Yes.
Really interesting that the word is on the emphasis management than relationship. I think that there's some really interesting things going on in terms of social data analytics. Where you can really, I work with a company in Finland called Extract. I think that CRM is really an outdated thing. You've got to think about a completely different way about how you build your affinity and your relationships. And I've been called up in the last month by about 7 major companies who now understand that actually they need to have a completely different relationship with their customers. And they don't really know how to do that, but they know it's got something to do with a more social nature of doing things. So I think that CRM is kind of it's a sort of algorithms and whatever, but it's approaching it the wrong way. And I think also that we now live in a very customer-centric world because we've put ourselves there. It's not. I don't really want to bash the old world because, as I say, it's provided something really valuable for us. And created a more viable economic culture, but it's time to move on now. But the customer now sits in the front seat, and companies have really got to work out how they're going to engage those people in a meaningful way.
One final question from the audience. The other gentleman in the front next door. Ga je gang.
Yeah, I was just wondering what Spreadshirt exactly earns money with. Which elements of your business are actually supplying you with money? Is it payment flow? Is it
selling customer information? I don't know.
No, so we are like a full service, so we fulfill the orders ourselves. So when somebody orders a T-shirt, we take a blank T-shirt out of a warehouse, put the design on it, send it to the customer. We do the payment, we do the after-sales service and everything. And on each item that we sell, we have a markup. So we produce it cheaper than we sell it. So very simple. Yeah, very simple, very old school.
Okay, hartelijk dank. Thank you very much, Alan and Lucas.
Thank you very much.